Hey guys, Matt Allen here. Welcome back to Tactical Bassin'. Today we're headed out exploring. We've got the jet boat and we're on a beautiful northern inland lake. Let's go fishing. To start things off, I know nothing about this lake. This just happens to be near a house that we rented as we were passing through the area to visit friends. So of course, I'm dumping the boat in and we're going fishing. It reminds me of 1,000 other northern lakes. It's a few hundred acres. It definitely gets some use. I mean, look at all these pontoons lined up here. There are definitely people on this place. I don't know if anybody seriously fishes it. You know, a lot of these northern lakes, they tend to be really shallow, really grassy. These natural lakes don't have a lot of big jagged contours on them. Looking at this on Google Earth last night, looks like a grass field, honestly. It looks really shallow in about 95% of the lake. So that's why I'm on my trolling motor right now. The poor jet boat is not gonna run in all this shallow grass. So we're trolling motoring out to deeper water just to even get started. But basically these northern fisheries, very similar, not a lot of contour, a lot of grass. It could be largemouth, smallmouth, pike, muskie, perch, you know. It could be a lot of things. Looking at this one, I'm thinking largemouth. So we've got, you know, a Magdraft, a Topwater, a fluke, a bait finesse setup, and we're just gonna go see. My plan is to start offshore. Looks like from the aerial, it looks like a lot of really shallow grass. So we're gonna go fish emergent grass. We're gonna go to the deepest part of the lake, try and find the nearest grass to that. If we could find a good grass edge, we'll fish out there first. And then when that sun gets up high, we get some actual shade, maybe then we'll move up on the bank and try some of that stuff. That's enough talking. Let's go fishing. Little largemouth. All right, they are in here. Now we know. I'm throwing the giant dog X by Mega Bass. I don't know if you guys are getting the same vibe I am. I don't know if it comes through on the camera, but this place is still. I mean, it's glass, it's quiet. So I went with that really subtle topwater. It's a nice, I mean, it's got some sound, but it's a subtle walk. It's not an overwhelming sound. Sometimes that gets them really good when it's like this, when you don't want to make too much racket. Let's keep going. Look at this cabbage. Hopefully you guys can see it. This is that emergent grass, just barely touching the surface. But it's just a giant field, and I'm hoping somewhere out there, another 100 yards or so, it'll just roll off into that deeper water, and that should be that magical offshore edge and underwater shoreline, if you will. That's where I'm hoping to find these fish. Oh. I just got bit twice. Come on. Got him. Oh, he's down in that grass. He's got one hook, and that is a good one. You've got to be kidding me. I mean, we are way, way up north. That's a big one. And look where we are, middle of the lake. Boy, if that's not proof of concept. Out here running the grass line on a lake we know nothing about, and that took no time at all. What a fish. That's awesome. Thank you. I mean, we've got to be at least 200 yards off the bank. No visible cover, but it was exactly what I thought it was going to be looking at Google Earth. I came out here, I'm in that cabbage. It's like 5-6 feet deep forever. And then all of a sudden it just went whoop to 11 foot. And the cabbage just got shorter as it went down the slope. So I stopped, still throwing that giant dog X. Totally stock, except that I add a number 2 split ring to the nose to give it a little wider walk. Other than that, completely stock. No visible grass, just throwing right across what would be that transition, just sort of following the shoreline, and that giant eats it. That was cool. That was really cool. I mean, it proves they're out here for me. It proves the concept is going to work for all of us. We're gonna catch some fish. So right up here on my left, I can see the grass. There's even a little bit touching surface out there. And then right here, I could just see scattered grass, and the right there is just black. So my electronics, oh yeah, I just went from 4.5 to 8.5 right there. This is definitely the roll off. So I'm just gonna, I can see my bank up there. I'm just gonna throw parallel to that shoreline, assuming that this edge roughly follows that edge. I can't see anything out there, completely open water. Nothing to see, but I'm believing I'm on that edge. And that's exactly the setup that big one came on. Like clockwork, they are on this edge. It's another good fish. Look at that, he swallowed it. Absolutely swallowed it. Another beautiful fish. This is awesome. Dropping in here completely randomly, no information, just doing the logical things in the logical places, and boom, we are off and running. Do you see how high that fish just jumped? I don't know if you guys could see it or not. He went airborne. I picked up the Magdraft just to see, you know, just there's good fish here. He smoked it. That's one of those new Magdraft colors that came out this year. Super bright, super bold. It's relatively clear water here, although it's kind of tannic looking, kind of dark, but it's clear. But I thought, oh, you know what? I'll bet I got bit by a pike too, because I've got teeth marks that are deep in this bait. I missed one earlier. I think it was a pike. But that bright, bold color, even in the clear water, if these fish aren't getting pounded on, bright and bold just means they can see it from farther. Oh, it's a pike. You knew they had to be around here somewhere. Oh, good. Got our Magdraft back. Nope. Nice one. That is another really, really solid northern fish. That's so awesome. I found a little spot here just by fishing where it's 12.5 feet deep and I'm maybe 40 yards from shore. I'm a lot closer to shore. The deep water pulled in tighter and it's a sheer edge. And that was my, I don't know, 3rd or 4th cast with the Topwater to get that one. We've definitely got a good thing going. You guys come check this out. Let me show you my 2D sonar as I just fell off this edge. So the bottom up here, it's all 4 to 5 foot, good tall grass, and then see that roll off? Now we're out at 12 foot. There's just some scattered grass out here. That's that edge, that roll off. That's where these fish are sitting. Fish love to sit on those outside grass edges over the top of that emergent grass. In the mornings or down at the bottom of it once that sun is up high and gets really hot. This lake, I mean, our water temp's 76 degrees. Like I said, we're super far north. So these fish are probably up on or up in that grass all the time. They don't even need to back out. But in the south, this exact concept works everywhere. But in the south, super hot, baking hot, high water temps, high air temps. Those fish will hit the bottom of that transition, catch them down there with a jig. But this concept, it works everywhere, and it is so overlooked by the vast majority of anglers. They're up there, they're on the bank, they're fishing visible cover. In fact, I say that, there's one over there on the bank fishing visible cover right now. Nobody's out here fishing this stuff. And as you can see, the best fish in the lake live out here. He ate it really good again, just like the others. I mean, they want that bait. It is in there. It's very obvious that we're throwing the right thing. I think we were really smart. You know, it's always a gamble. We have no information. We're not
We're just basing it off of our knowledge of fishing. Picking this subtle topwater on this calm, subtle morning, I think was absolutely the right call. One other thing while I'm thinking about it, because otherwise I'll forget to say something. The gear is really, really important because I'm traveling. I'm on the road with my girls. We're on vacation. We brought the jet boat, so we don't have a lot of room, right? We got 2 tackle bags and a handful of rods. And I needed those rods to cover a lot of things. So I grabbed very universal rods like this. The G Loomis, you guys know how much I love the MBRs. This is the 843C MBR paired with a Corrado 70 MGL. This will throw almost anything. I'm throwing the Topwater on it, but I could throw a spinnerbait on here. I could throw a shaky head, a finesse jig. I mean, there's so many things that I could do with this one rod, especially with 30-pound braid on it. I could do almost anything. The other one that will come as no surprise to you guys, I'm slinging that Magdraft around on my Megabass Orochi Brailleist. That Brailleist is an incredible rod. It's my favorite jig rod. You all know that if you watch videos at all, but it also doubles as a fantastic Magdraft rod. So I have my best jig rod with me in case I got into fishing like outside grass like we are, but I'm pitching a jig to them, or up in heavy cover. But I've also got a fantastic rod for throwing some of these bigger baits. Then another one, I mean, I've got a few rods with me, but probably the 3 that are the most universal on this trip. We haven't even started throwing the fluke yet, but I'm throwing this on a bait finesse setup. So the Corrado BFS to the Cashin, it's their 610 medium light. And that is probably one of the most universal bait finesse rods I've found. That 610 medium light will basically do anything. I could throw Topwater on it, I could throw a fluke on it, I could throw that light Texas rig on it. I mean, truly a one BFS rod to do it all. Again, I'm just not trying to have too many setups with me. So the setups I did bring, I want them to do a lot of different things, and I want them to do it well. I mean, we haven't jumped off a single topwater fish today. Not one fish has got off. I hate to say that because now I might lose one, but haven't lost a single fish. And we're using a rod that was not designed for topwater, but it happens to be my favorite topwater rod. All right, I will link all this stuff in the video description. Let's get back to fishing. Got him. That looks like a good one. It's another nice northern fish. This is fun. Beautiful fish, every one of them. Jeez, what a riot. Golly, did you see that? That blow up was crazy loud. Jeez, look at the gut on this fish. Wow. Look at that. What a football. Look at the belly on that fish. My goodness. And he massacred that topwater. Just absolutely
crushed it. What a fat, healthy bass. Thank you. Got him. And it's been a long time since we've just been on a one bait beat down. I mean, it's obvious they'll eat that Magdraft too, but it is a topwater day. Curiosity has got the best of me, so I dug through my box. I found two more really subtle BFS type baits, and I'm gonna put these on. We'll see if we can branch out a little bit. They are crushing that Giant Dog X. So I wanna try the Whopper Plopper 60 and then that little Cultiva Zippin' Ziggy. Both make some racket, but both are very subtle presentations. This one has that high glass sound, and then you know what a Whopper Plopper sounds like, but the 60 is super subtle. Let's find out if they'll eat it all or if we need to stick to just the one. Man, that's fun. It's on that little Cultiva. Not the biggest fish of the day, but we'll take him. He sure bit it like he was the biggest fish of the day. Pike. All right, it's getting to be mid-morning now. It's about 9:30, and we've already blasted them so well, I think we're just gonna call it a day right here. I'm gonna head back and hang out with the family, but hopefully you guys enjoyed coming out here with me, exploring a brand new lake. Again, we know nothing about this place other than it was near the house we rented, so I thought, let's go fishing. Until that first fish ate, we didn't even know whether or not there were bass in here. There's clearly some largemouth and some pike in here. I have no idea if there's smallmouth or walleye or anything else, but had an absolute blast. This concept, this idea of going to outside grass, like I said earlier, it works everywhere in the country. They are the least pressured summertime fish in any lake, and typically they're some of the biggest. I mean, these were solid northern fish, and we were catching them some of my absolute favorite ways. Like I said before, I'll link all the gear in the video description. Baits, specific colors, you know, that split ring upgrade, right down to the rods and reels and everything. I hope you guys enjoyed coming along. I hope you enjoyed exploring. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and we'll talk to you soon. Oh, that's a good fish. Man, I did not expect that. He is killing me on this little BFS setup. One last bonus fish. Caught him on a little Senko. Little weedless wacky hook.
on my Popex rod. 6-pound fluoro. That was a wild ride. Just a fun bonus fish for the road. This was a neat lake. I had a good time. I hope you guys did too. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and we'll talk to you soon.